If you want the safest car, you basically have to buy an electric one. If you look at all the tests that were carried out last year by Euro NCAP, it shows you one thing. The safest car in every single segment was an electric car. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. It's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I think safety does matter. It's pretty important. We all think it doesn't matter. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us think it doesn't matter. And then all of a sudden you do have a crash, have an accident, someone hits you. Someone T-bones you from behind. Someone runs a red light and hits you. And then, well, then it really, really matters. I remember the story of the guy who drove his Tesla Model 3 off a cliff. I think it was in California. Devil's Slide, I think it's called, something like that. And the car went about 200 feet down onto the rocks below. Amazingly, his kids survived. In fact, I think all four of the people that were in the car survived. People have driven their gasoline-powered cars off there to try and kill themselves, and they've succeeded. But this guy, he failed. So here's another good reason. If your partner goes a bit suicidal and goes crazy, well, yeah, not saying that's going to happen, but hey, it proves one thing here. The rewards last year given out for all of the EVs tested, all the cars tested, show that the safest cars you can buy in every single segment right now are fully electric. Let's have a look back at 2022 and all the awards won in the different car segments. European New Car Assessment Program, or Euro NCAP, is used pretty much worldwide as a way to measure the safety of cars. China uses Euro NCAP. They basically mirror Europe's standards. China's the biggest car market in the world. Europe is the third biggest car market, very close behind North America. So it's basically the world standard. Euro NCAP recently released the winners of its best-in-class honours for 2022 for the entire year, following what it termed as its busiest year ever of crashed testing. Some EVs didn't perform well. There was a BMW electric car that got a poor score. I think it got 3 stars. There was a Renault Zoe. It got 1 star. But in each segment, an EV won. Of the winners, 5 of 6 were fully electric, and the final model was a plug-in hybrid. To make matters even more interesting, Euro NCAP says that this is the first time ever that 2 Chinese vehicles were among the winners, and that 2 different Teslas were named best in class. Now, it's worth pointing out that the Tesla Model X and the Tesla Model 3 weren't tested. The 2 cars that were tested were the Tesla Model Y and the Tesla Model S. Now, the crazy thing is, even though only 2 Tesla model cars were tested, they actually won 3 awards in 3 separate categories. The brand earned 3 best-in-class awards. Model Y was named the best small off-road vehicle, while the Model S won both the executive and the pure electric classes. Interestingly, it was proven within the last few days that Toyota has been cheating the system in its crash tests. It's been rigging its cars in order to modify them before they get sent to Euro NCAP. It's been called out. It's done this on 4 different models of car. The question I have is, if they're willing to do it on 4 different models, how many times have they done this before without getting caught? There is a probability, if you're willing to do this on 4 different models, you're willing to do this on every single model. If you want to see my video about that, I'll put a link in the description below. But I think, for me, hearing that, I would not consider a Toyota, whether it's a compelling EV, whatever it is, if you're going to cheat on 4 different occasions by simply modifying, and I'm talking some pretty significant model modifications here, they actually changed the door panels. Like they changed the structure of the cars in order to try to make the cars game the safety tests. Anyhow, Euro NCAP lauded both the Model Y and the Model S for their crash test results, saying they earned high marks in the adult occupant protection test and earned the highest scores in history of all vehicles in the safety assist category of 98%. Now, for example, there are quite a few Chinese EVs, not just Chinese EVs, but just cars in general, that score pretty low on the safety assist score. The Chinese vehicles, though, that earned best-in-class accolades from the Euro NCAP were the Aura Funky Cat, or the Aura Cat, or the whatever you want to call it, basically Aura's hatchback. It's a car that will be available in many markets worldwide within the next few months. Its parent company is Great Wall Motors. So Aura's EV, they're pretty cool. I've seen them here in Thailand, and they look better in the flesh than they do in the pictures. I quite like them. Now, that was considered the best small family car, and the Way Coffee 01 was the only plug-in hybrid on the list that won an award. It won the large off-road class. It also earned high marks in the safety assist category. It got 94%, which is an amazing score, and was called a good all-rounder by Euro NCAP. The Aura Funky Cat, meanwhile, was singled out as being exceptionally well equipped for a vehicle in its class. So the Aura Funky Cat, it's a really strange looking electric car. It's actually designed by Porsche designer, who designed a lot of cars for Porsche. If you haven't seen that car, I'll put a link in the description below to my review on that vehicle. Finally, the last winner for 2022 was the Hyundai Ioniq 6. Very strange looking car, but I think it's really cool. The sedan earned the best in class in the large family car segment. Euro NCAP called its adult occupant safety score of 97% exceptionally high. Here's what they said. 2022 has been one of Euro NCAP's busiest years yet. I believe it's actually their busiest year ever in terms of the number of cars they tested this year. And we've seen a lot of new car makers and new technologies, said Michael van Rattingen, Euro NCAP's Secretary General. It's clear a good Euro NCAP rating is seen by car manufacturers as critical to success in Europe. This can only mean better safety equipment and safer cars for European consumers all around. So what happens here is, if you bought a car in 2018, 17, 16, 15, etc., it won't be the same score. If it got 5 stars in Euro NCAP, it's very unlikely to get a 5-star rating today in 2022 or today in 2023, for example, because every year they change the parameters on the tests. Every year they say, okay, now we know that there's these new safety technologies. We're going to change our parameters. So if the car does this in this given situation, it will get this score. What this means is that even the safest cars from 10 years ago would probably get a 1-star score in today's safety tests. The tests are completely different today, or at least they were in 2022, and they are this year from what I've seen so far, which is a good thing. It's actually pushing manufacturers to make their cars safer. If you want the safest car for your family, for yourself, you've got to buy an EV. It's just that simple. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching.